Gary Payton.
Jrue Holiday.
Gary Payton.
Jrue Holiday.
Gary Payton.
Giannis wins it into the hands
Wade
of
tied up. Shot clock at 5. Jason Williams kicks it out. Payton. Payton shot. Let's go. Payton knocks it down. With 9.3 remaining. And the Heat back up by 2.
On this episode of Basketball Now and Then, the greatest comparisons, we compare two phenomenal point guards known for their defense.
In Seattle, this Hall of Famer was the engine of intensity, fueling every possession with fire.
This two-time champion guarded stars like a storm cloud, always looming, always disruptive.
Playing elite two-way basketball, these two players were the lock on defense and the key on offense for their respective franchises.
We are thrilled to present to you Jrue Holiday and Gary Payton. I'm Maurice.
I'm Lucas.
And I'm Uriah.
And we're here to talk basketball
now and then.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Basketball Now and Then. I'm here with Maurice and Lucas. No Ben today, but we're going to be comparing two outstanding point guards from different eras. Before we begin, don't forget to follow Basketball Now and Then on social media and subscribe on the podcast platform of preference. We also have an exclusive community on Patreon for those who want to chime in and connect with basketball fans who enjoy our objective comparisons and our overall hoop talk. Please visit basketballnowandthen.com to access all of our content today. Before we begin comparing Jrue Holiday and Gary Payton, we've got something for every hoop fan listening.
This episode of Basketball Now and Then is brought to you by the official NBA store.
From classic throwback jerseys that take you back to the days of high-flying legends to the gear worn by today's superstars, the NBA store has all of it.
Whether you're team then or team now, you can rep your side the right way.
And if you want to support what we're building here, hit the link in our description and shop through our affiliate page. Every purchase helps us keep bringing you star comparisons, stories, and conversations. All right, so now let's get to this comparison. If you're not sure how we do our comparisons, like we're going back and forth every week. We're contemplating which players of today are most like players of yesterday. And last summer, we asked a very particular question, and it was, which player today reminds us the most of Gary Payton? Not necessarily through style or attitude, because there's not too many guys today that have that type of attitude that Gary Payton had. But if you look at overall hardware and their overall game and productivity, we came up with Jrue Holiday. So let's give the listeners our reasons why this comparison works. Maurice, let's go with you first.
Both of these guys are notoriously known for being great defenders at the guard position. Defensive specialists, if you will. Gary Payton's nickname we all know is the glove. Jrue Holiday doesn't really have a nickname, but he's consistently considered an all-defensive team player. On top of that, both of these guys have really high basketball IQs. We just did a comparison of Bob Cousy and John Stockton. Both of these guys are in that same boat where they're both coaches on the floor. They both excel at reading the game, defensively, anticipating passing lanes, rotating defensively, and just all around making smart decisions under pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. The defense is what these players have as a distinction between all the other players in their era. And we'll get into that later. But I want to go to Lucas next. In your opinion, why are we comparing Jrue Holiday and Gary Payton?
Well, it's not just that they were elite defensively. They were two-way stars, okay? Payton was a 20-point-per-game scorer for multiple seasons. Holiday can score, facilitate, defend, all at a high level. The other thing that I want to talk about is championship pedigree here. Now, I don't know if I've told you guys this, but the first time I ever watched an NBA Finals was the 2006 Miami Heat championship. And that's when Payton won his title, right? And then Jrue Holiday also won 2 championships, one with Milwaukee and then one with the Boston Celtics. So they both proved that they can be contributing at the highest level when it comes to winning.
Yes, and don't forget the Supersonics in 96. Gary Payton was the starting point guard. He was at the peak of his career when he took on MJ and the Bulls. So we can't forget about that finals appearance.
Mhm.
And yeah, Lucas, their two-way impact is apparent. There's not too many players in any era that can say their starting point guard for their franchise was as effective and dominant offensively as they were defensively. I would like to add that both of these players have a type of leadership and toughness that elevates the team that they play for. If you think about what they bring, they have an edge to them. They're vocal leaders, physically tough defenders. You could not, I guess, intimidate, for lack of a better word, either Gary Payton or Jrue Holiday. That being said, are you guys set for this comparison?
Absolutely.
Yes, do it, man.
First quarter, background.
So it's time to talk about Jay Holla, aka the Druth.
The Jrue.
The Druth, yeah.
Okay.
AKA, this is my favorite, AKA Kung Fu Jrue. Yeah.
Kung Fu Jrue.
Never
Okay.
heard that before, but
All
hey,
right.
sounds good to me. Before he got those nicknames, he was born Jrue Randall Holiday on June 12th, 1990 in Chatsworth, California. He is the son of Sean and Toya Holiday, both collegiate basketball players. His mother was named Pac-10 Player of the Year in 1982. Does anybody know which college he played ball?
They seem like a Stanford family.
Stanford? Okay. Maurice?
Why not UCLA?
All right. Both good guesses, but wrong. She actually played at Arizona State.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Growing up, Jrue Holiday had a number of siblings, which included his sister, Lauren, and two brothers, Aaron and Justin. In an NBA.com interview, Jrue Holiday said his favorite basketball memories were playing 2-on-2 with his siblings, where the games would get really competitive. Any guesses who his favorite basketball players were growing up? He's from California, so don't overthink it.
It's
What
Kobe
two
Bryant.
players?
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe's one. Who's the other?
Oh, it's two. Okay.
Mhm.
Kobe
Ooh.
and
Mitch Richmond?
Another Laker.
Magic.
There you go. Makes sense.
Wasn't he a little bit
Huh.
too young for
That-
Magic?
that was
I
low.
guess not.
Yeah, but I mean, they had YouTube though, right?
Barely.
So picture this, guys, growing up in Los Angeles, stepping onto a high school court where winning was not just the goal, it was a habit. And that's the world Jrue Holiday walked into at Campbell Hall. From the very beginning, he wasn't easing into the spotlight. He was running straight through it. As a freshman, contributing to a perfect season and a state championship, he played with a quiet confidence, like someone who already understood the rhythm of the game before the music even started. So speaking of music, did you guys know that beyond sports, Jrue Holiday was active in the gospel choir and the jazz band?
No.
No.
Well, here's a little trivia for you. Which instrument did Jrue Holiday play growing up? Did he play the drums, the piano, the guitar, or all of the above? Lucas, you go first.
He definitely seems like a piano guy.
Piano? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You said all the above. It usually is all the above. I'm gonna go all
Oh,
the
you're
above.
right. Yeah, I'm going to change it to all the above. Yeah, yeah. Teacher rules.
Why'd you do that, man? I was ready to buzz him, and then you just gave him some grace. I was
Thank you, Maurice.
All right. So, but Lucas, I'm curious why you said piano. If it's what I think it is, I'll be impressed.
Well, he has humongous hands.
Okay. I thought you were going to say because he's ambidextrous. Lefty,
Well,
righty.
I mean, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sure
sure.
that helps. I didn't know that, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, you guys are right. He did try all three instruments. However, he
Nice.
admitted in the interview that he was not very good at guitar.
That's a
Down the
tough
guitar.
instrument to learn.
Oh, it definitely is. So year by year, getting back to basketball, the game kept opening up for Jrue. By his sophomore year, he was stuffing the stat sheet, scoring, rebounding, facilitating, doing a little bit of everything, like a player unwilling to be put in a single box. Moving into his junior year, elevating his team to a near perfect record, he wasn't just playing basketball, he was conducting it. Each possession felt intentional, each pass like it had a destination long before it left his hands. By the time his senior year arrived, Jrue Holiday had become the engine, the steering wheel, and sometimes even the brakes. Over under, gentlemen, Jrue's points per game his senior year of high school. Over under 24 points a game. Maurice, what do you think?
24 seems really high, but I give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to say over.
He's never, I'm going to say under.
I get my chance.
No.
Sorry, Lucas.
It happens. Look. You can't bat 100. Okay, sometimes you miss it. Sometimes you strike out. It's okay.
Yeah, it's all right. We know you're used to it. But anyway.
Oh. Is that the case? Is that really the case? Because I'm pretty sure after I missed like a couple episodes,
you go
you're
on
like,
a hot
oh yeah,
streak from time to time.
Okay.
So the answer, Maurice was right, was 25.3 points a game.
Nice.
But check this out. I don't think we've ever had a player like this in high school, at least not to my memory. 25 points a game, 12 rebounds, 6.8 assists, 4.6 steals, and 2.4 blocks.
He was doing it all.
Did he play center for his team too?
I think he was guard, but the production was unbelievable in high school. So
yeah.
Jrue was controlling the pace like a seasoned veteran, never rushed, never out of place. It was as if the court shrank for him and everything happening just a split second slower in his world. Now, stacking up state championships, earning National Player of the Year honors, and stepping onto the McDonald's All-American stage, he left high school not just as a star, but as a complete player. Polished, poised, and already carrying the blueprint of the pro that he would become. Lucas, what stands out to you about Jrue Holiday in high school?
I mean, what was it? 12 rebounds at 6'4", 6'5". That's and not playing. Like you could hear, like if you went to like a small private school and he had to play center, okay, sure, why not, right? But no, that's. I mean, the guy. No, that wasn't the case here. So that's a little crazy to me.
12 boards is astronomical for a guard.
And 2.6 blocks.
Yeah.
2.4 blocks. Yeah.
2.4 blocks? Ooh.
You couldn't score on him. You just couldn't.
He was just like, I'm going to take it personally.
Yep.
Yeah. What stands out to me is the love for the music. How does that equate to basketball? Well, his mind is a little bit more mannered. He's a little bit more calm. He thinks everything through. What a typical point guard you will want from your point guard, correct?
Dude, when he was with the Sixers his rookie year, he played with a poise that you didn't really see often with rookies. And even his career, he moved like he had rhythm. So when you think music, you think rhythm. Jrue Holiday, he definitely moved with a purpose and with a smooth rhythm.
So Uriah, I do want to interject here because this is something that is personal to Uriah, as you know, we're all Sixers fans here. Uriah, I think next episode of What If, we need to do a What If the Sixers didn't trade Jrue Holiday.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm one of the people that did not like the process. And how many championships did Jrue Holiday win when he left here? 2. But I digress. Don't get me started, Lucas.
What, me? Getting you off on a rabbit trail? Never.
I'm a huge Jrue Holiday fan, just so everybody knows. But anyway, so let's get to his college years. Imagine a young guard with immense NBA potential stepping onto the hardwood at UCLA. Well, that was Jrue Holiday in 2008. Playing alongside veteran guards, adjusting to a system that didn't always put the ball in his hands, Jrue still found ways to leave fingerprints on every game. Cutting through defenses, threading passes into tight windows, and defending with a quiet intensity. It was all there, even if it didn't always show up in the box score. Jrue earned a starting spot his only season as a Bruin. He didn't produce huge numbers as a freshman, though. He only averaged 8.5 points per game, 3.8 rebounds, and 3.7 assists. Over under. Lucas, I'm coming to you first. Over under 3-point percentage for Jrue Holiday at UCLA. 34% over under.
Jrue started out as a rough 3-point shooter, but he picked on pretty quick in the NBA, if I remember correctly. But sometimes you struggle your first year. I'm going to say over.
Yeah, I'm going to go over as well. Wow.
It was
That was on the.
It was 30.7%.
Mm.
And I think even Jrue admitted that when he came out of college early, teams were looking at his shooting as kind of a liability, but nonetheless, he got picked in the top round anyway.
Yeah.
Yet you could tell that Jrue had a feel for the game. It was one of those phrases that sounds simple but carries weight because it's not just about seeing the play. For him, it's about sensing it before it happens. Although he helped UCLA record a 26-9 record, couldn't quite get past the second round of the NCAA tournament, he did earn a spot on the Pac-10 all-freshman team, and in 14 games, Jrue Holiday was able to score in double figures. He ranked second on the team in assists, behind what future NBA player teammate? Lucas?
Oh, I know this. Yeah, it's Russell Westbrook.
You sure about that?
I mean, go ahead, Maurice. Who do you think it was?
Oh, no, it's not him. I know who.
No, you can't go back.
I know who it is now.
Maurice gave you a lifeline.
Yeah.
No,
is it Darren Collison?
Yeah, it was Darren Collison.
Westbrook was a good guess, but he wasn't. Was he there?
He was there the year before. Him, Kevin Love, and Luke Bahamute.
It's a good guess.
And then the year before that was Aaron Aflalo. Actually, UCLA, despite not having a great college team, has still produced a decent amount of NBA players in the last 20 years.
All right. You guys want to hear a quick quote from his coach once Holiday got drafted?
Sure.
Coach Hollinger said, quote, "I'm sure Jrue will be a great NBA player and have a long career. He will always be a part of the Bruin family." Prediction came true, so the coach knew. One UCLA season, guys, just one. But like a brief melody that lingers long after it ends, Jrue Holiday's time at UCLA left an impression. Subtle, steady, and impossible to ignore. Jrue's unique skill set and high potential made him a first-round pick in the 2009 NBA draft.
With the 17th pick in the 2009 NBA draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select Jrue Holiday from UCLA.
So Jrue Holiday, who was the last young man in the green room, is going to the Philadelphia 76ers. Back in 2008, he was the #1 overall prospect in high school basketball by Rivals.com. Both of his parents, Sean and Toya, played college basketball. The freshman guard for UCLA, he made the all-freshman team in the Pac-10, 6'4", 199 pounds. Jay Billis, you said that he's got a whole lot of potential.
Boy, he really does have a lot of potential. It's going to take him a little while to figure it out in the NBA. You're going to have to wait a little while, but he's a very good athlete. Not super explosive, but a good athlete. And he's got skills. He can handle the ball. He can pass it. He can put it on the deck. He is good off of pick-and-roll situations, although he did not operate out of many of them.
Look at Stuart Scott stealing my thunder, man. Already gave all that information. Anyway, Lucas, what stands out to you about Jrue Holiday at UCLA?
That we have to remember, he wasn't even the primary point guard there. He was the combo guard.
Yep.
And, he comes into, the Sixers and he's starting point guard day one. It's really interesting, his versatility. That's probably one of the best things about Jrue Holiday in terms of, and not to take too much from, I guess not really from anybody, but you're like, Jrue Holiday is not considered just one of the best, point guard defenders in the NBA. He's one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA because he can guard possessions basically 1 through 4.
Yep.
Absolutely. And and you don't have too many guys that can do that at a high level, but he can do it.
Yeah. One thing we'll have to check though. I remember Holiday by the end of the season, he was starting.
Well, here, I can check this roster.
Yeah. Maurice, what about you while he's checking that?
Coming out of UCLA, drafted to the Sixers, who at that point was moving into a new direction after Iverson's career there. Actually, I think he was there his last season with Iverson.
He was.
He was. A new direction for the franchise. They needed some stability. That's exactly what Jrue added. Was he like the franchise superstar player? No, he was not. But a lot like Gary Payton, which we're about to talk about. He was the future, like the trendsetter, if you will. I don't know if that's the right word, but trending the culture in a different way, moving the franchise in a different way, starting the building blocks to what could have been, but it didn't happen with the Sixers. It went a totally different direction, but
they gave up on him too early, basically.
Yeah, and that's sounds very familiar with the Sixers organization.
Especially recent wounds. I will say this, so he did not start right away. It took him until the 15th game of the season to start, but whose starting spot did he take over?
Was it Andre Miller?
You say Andre Miller. Maurice.
Well,
I should note that we just did Andre Miller last weekend, by the way.
We did.
Yeah.
Shout out. Yeah. Check out that episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Andre Miller and who was the other guy?
Mike Conley.
Okay, yeah. Maurice, who did he take over for?
As a Sixers fan, these are the dark days.
They were.
I don't know.
You don't know? Come on, take a guess. He took over for Lou Williams.
Oh,
he was starting?
Okay.
Lou started the first 14 games.
We just think Lou Williams as a great backup, not a starter.
Or six man, yeah.
And then Jrue started about... Granted, the Sixers were on like a 10-plus game losing streak, so Jrue only started 5 games. And then he lost his spot to... They didn't even have a real point. Iggy for 1 game, and then Iverson for 3 games. And then Jrue was back in the starting lineup for another handful of games, then lost his spot again, and then eventually got it and kept it.
All right.
So, yeah. Anyway.
All right, let's move on to the other side of the comparison. And as was mentioned, we're going to go and discuss the career of Gary Payton. All right, it's time to talk about GP, a.k.a. the Glove. Before he got those nicknames, he was born Gary Dwayne Payton on July 23rd, 1968. Before the lockdown defense, before the finals appearances, and the Hall of Fame speeches, he was just a confident, ultra-competitive kid growing up in Oakland, trying to figure out his future. Who knows where Gary Payton got his cocky attitude from? Anybody want to take a guess?
I'm going to say a family member.
All right, well, which one?
That sounds like I'm close. His grandfather.
I'm going to say grandmother.
Okay. Both of you are wrong. It was his dad. You guys overthought it. His pops. Yeah. So his pops, he had a nickname, which is interesting. His nickname was Mr. Mean. And Mr. Mean. That's what he was called when Gary Payton was growing up. His dad did show him tough love, and he did not hold his tongue for anyone. So although his parents split when he was younger, they both went to his basketball games while Gary was growing up. And even though he loved his mom, he wanted to spend so much time with his dad that he would hide from his mom when she came to pick him up. His dad would actually take him down to what's called Jefferson Elementary School for these full court basketball games. Whether it was raining, whether it was shining, didn't matter. You guys want to hear a quote from his dad about the lesson of speaking up on the basketball court?
Yeah,
absolutely.
So his dad said, quote, "I taught them, you better speak up. No matter how big he is, whatever. If he talks to you, you talk trash back." And that was his dad telling it not just to Gary, but to his whole team. Now, once he hit his teenage years, Oakland basketball in those days was not just a game. It was almost like a neighborhood proving ground, pride on the line, reputations clashing, every possession carrying a little extra weight. Oakland leagues were where guys from the same streets ended up on the opposite teams, talking, competing, battling not just for wins, but for respect. And honestly, in that environment, words mattered, maybe as much as the buckets. You can almost imagine it. Sneakers squeaking, crowds buzzing, and a young Gary Payton chirping constantly, his voice cutting through the gym like a sharp echo. In his freshman season, Gary Payton was a monster on the court, but not always in a good way. Undisciplined, defiant, the kind of player that could take over a game or derail it entirely. At one point, it got so bad, guys, that his coach nearly kicked him off the team. When Gary had a good game, what do you think his dad would say to him? Maurice, what do you think his dad would say if Gary had a good game?
You got some things to work on, son.
Okay. Lucas?
Basically, yeah, like he would point out everything that he could do better.
All right, you guys are pretty much right, but here's a quote from a Players Tribune article written by Gary Payton. He said, "There was never a time my father would say, nice game, you played great. It was always, you could have did better." Yeah. I remember games where I would have 50 points, no lie, and he was like, "You don't play defense good. You don't do this or that. You could have had 60 or 70. To finish the quote from Gary Payton, "At that age, I would cry when he really gave it to me." So his dad was pretty tough on him.
Yeah.
He did have his best interest, though, which is the reason why Gary attended Skyline High School instead of neighborhood Fremont High, which he did because he wanted his son to have a multicultural experience. He eventually thrived in high school, scoring over 20 points per game in his final 2 seasons at Skyline. So what stands out to you, Lucas, about Gary Payton growing up in Oakland?
The fact that his dad pushed for him to be in a multicultural situation. We've heard plenty of players talk about Oakland being tough. I mean, so to not allow that area to define who he was, especially in the 80s. I mean, Oakland in the 80s was terrible. Yeah. So if you think about it,
sounds like the comp between Andre Miller we just did.
Yeah,
he was a comp.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I think it's good that he had a dad who, despite cussing him out quite a bit, was very supportive and very active. I think that was key.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of the point too. Yeah, he was active, he was supportive, wanted his son to be the best version of himself as a basketball player, which you can't hate. I mean, the end results show it. So,
yeah, not at all. Yeah, and there were times where Gary Payton said his dad would tell him not to leave the house, like go in the house, do your work, whatever, because the streets were rough in Oakland. And his dad, I think, was a cook, and he would do what he had to do to make ends meet. And he was actually a coach at one point for Gary and his team, and he showed tough love, which I think a lot of players that we've covered in our episodes a lot received, and obviously it worked out for them. So now let's go to college. Picture this. Corvallis, Oregon, late 1980s. A young guard stepping onto the court at Oregon State, already carrying himself like he knew something that everyone else didn't. That was Gary Payton. It was at Oregon State where his defensive tenacity was taken to the next level. Gary did not just defend, he hunted. Opponents didn't just lose the ball, they lost confidence. And he didn't just stop players, he humiliated them. Now, that's a strong word, but it fits. Trivia. Who gave him the nickname the Glove? I'll give you a choice, Maurice.
Sure.
Was it a coach or was it a family member? What do you think?
Oh, it could be either or.
Yeah.
I'm going to go coach.
Okay, unfortunately, it was a family member. Specifically, Maurice, it was his cousin Glenn. And I didn't get this secondhand from some article. It was Gary Payton himself who said his cousin gave him the nickname the Glove. So for all the people who are wondering, where did he get that nickname? You can give credit to cousin Glenn. So there was kind of a pride in the way Gary locked people down. Like every possession was personal. Over under, how many steals per game did Gary Payton average in college? Welcome back, Lucas. I'll repeat that.
No, I heard it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
So, over under, how many steals did he average? Over under 2.5. Lucas, what do you think?
That is there an equal to?
No. It's over under.
Ooh. I don't, under, the 2.5 seems too much.
All right.
Listen, if they gave him that nickname in college, he had more than 2.5.
So you're going over?
Over.
All right. You are Correct.
Oh, gosh,
2.7 steals.
That is wild.
2.7 steals in college.
Lockdown defender.
Nuts. You guys want to hear the rest of his stats?
Yep.
Yes.
So at Oregon State, Gary Payton averaged 18 points a game, 7.8 assists, and 4 rebounds. His senior year, though, check this out. His senior year was ridiculous. He put up 28 points a game, 8 assists, almost 5 rebounds, and 3.4 steals.
That is wild.
3 steals a game, 3.5. No wonder he was chosen second overall, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So his numbers were one thing, but then there's his personality. Gary talked a lot. Not just noise, though. Purposeful, calculated, like a boxer measuring distance with every jab. He could get under a player's skin and then, most inevitably, back it up with his play. That combination, guys, it made him unforgettable. By 1990, Gary Payton wasn't just good. He was undeniable. Honors poured in from Sports Illustrated, the U.S. Army Reserve, and the Pac-10 Conference, all naming him Player of the Year. That same season, he stood tall as a consensus All-American, capping off a college career that also included 3 All-Pac-10 selections and Freshman of the Year honors back in '87. Simply put, Gary Payton owned this era. Payton's impact went beyond the stats. He led the Beavers to multiple postseason runs, putting Oregon State back on the national map. And when it was all said and done, the resume spoke for itself. Over 2,100 points, nearly 1,000 assists, and a defensive presence that would become his signature. Number 20 was not just retired at Oregon State. It's remembered as the foundation of greatness. Not too far from Oregon State, Gary would take his talents to Seattle after they selected him in the first round of the NBA draft.
Here's David Stern. With the second pick in the 1990 NBA draft, the Seattle Supersonics select Gary Payton from Oregon State.
There is Gary Payton. He is 6'4". He is an excellent guard who played at Oregon State, and most people really believe that this young man has tremendous leadership qualities, which is one of the things, as our fellows told you here, that the Seattle Supersonics are going to be looking for. He averaged 25.7 points per game during the 1989 and 90 season at Oregon State, and he is the number 2 player selected in the 1990 draft. So not surprising you fellas at all.
No, it really doesn't. Doug, I get back to you. Take a look at Gary Payton. I said earlier about Coleman. He's improved every year that he played. Some numbers for Gary Payton. 12.5 points, 14.5 points, 20.1, 25.7. This is a guy that's getting better.
Well, you look at his strengths and weaknesses. He's a great passer, ball handler. He has tremendous confidence. This guy may be the best talker in the draft this year. Questionable shot selection, and late in the year he faltered. And a question about why that happened, he said that it was loaded up with 2 or 3 guys in the NCAA tournament. But
Wow. There's a voice for you, Doug Collins.
Yeah.
Let's go with Maurice. What stands out to you about Gary Payton at Oregon State?
Well, the talking trait he got from his father carried on to him. It's funny how in that clip they said he's a really good talker, which is like one of the foundational things of basketball, really. The mental mind games that goes on mentally and verbally on a basketball court. I think we forget about that sometimes with Gary Payton. Remember him as a great defensive player, but he was one of the best trash talkers too. He went right up against MJ as one of the best trash talkers.
What about you, Lucas? What stands out to you about Gary Payton?
I mean, just the fact that, Oregon State, granted, it was Pac-12, Pac-10 at the time, but, that's not, a major college. He gets a high draft pick because of it. And, lockdown defender, no joke. I mean, 2.7 steals in college. I mean, that's unheard of.
Yeah. Yeah, those numbers are ridiculous. And look, I remember when he was drafted, and for him to go number 2 as a guard during an era where the big man was still valued, it just tells you how special he was and how dominant he was in the Pac-10. All right, guys, I'm done. My segment. Lucas, you ready for the pass, sir?
Yes, sir.
Second quarter. Statistics.
They're losing by single digits almost half their games, so you got to come out and beat these guys.
Jrue Holiday, first bucket of the game, taking it aggressively, and they should. He's got 4 of the last 6 for the Mavs. Now the ISO, because of the size advantage, and Jrue Holiday glasses it home to tie it. But he's on right now.
Playing at a really high level, not
what he usually makes around the paint. Great pass by Rondo on that previous possession. Jrue thought they were going reverse, didn't they?
Yes,
he snuck it in on them. What a stroke. 19-17. 3+ to play. It'll be Holiday. Barged his way into Noel. To start. Nobody's complaining around here. Fouls by 4 with the ball. Got it.
Don't get it. You leave the rest of your team in a bad way.
Jrue, little flip, works. And that was in serious traffic. Sixers. Isolation for Holiday. And Dennis Smith Jr. can't do a thing about him. Plus,
he's on the attack, and he realizes he's got a big time.
And a punch at the offensive end.
All right, those are the highlights. Here are the numbers. Jrue Holiday, 6'4", 220 pounds. He is currently 35 years old. He got drafted in the 2009 draft, 17th overall by the Sixers. He is currently in his 17th season in the NBA, which feels crazy. It doesn't feel like it's that long.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like 17.
Yeah. So he has played for the following teams: the Philadelphia 76ers, New Orleans Pelicans, Milwaukee Bucks, Boston Celtics, and currently the Portland Trail Blazers. Now, I already know you guys know what his numbers for the Sixers was. It was 11. Yep. Was there any other team that he wore that 11 for?
That's a good question.
I know he wore 4. 4 is the
He
other
wore 4
number.
with the Boston Celtics.
All right.
What number is he wearing this season?
Oh, for Portland? Oh,
yeah.
Goodness. I have no clue.
Yeah, I don't know. But Milwaukee Bucks was the 11.
You
Yeah, I
think the
think it was
Milwaukee
11.
Bucks?
Yeah.
All right. You are both.
What? What?
What?
You wore 21 for the Milwaukee Bucks. You wore number 11 with the Pelicans.
Okay.
And he
Oh,
wore his number 5 right now for the Blazers.
Can I just ask? I'm not hijacking your segment.
Yeah.
But this kind of has to do with the fact that we have an affiliate partner now. Of all the jerseys that Jrue Holiday wore, Sixers, Pelicans, Celtics, Bucks, and obviously, the Blazers, which one do you think was the most fire? Like, if you were to buy a Jrue Holiday jersey, which one would you get?
The Sixers uniforms in the late 2000s were honestly, in my opinion, not that good.
they were hideous.
Pelicans I never liked.
Pelicans are
Celtics are Celtics, so you either love it or you hate it. I don't like the Celtics. Blazers is okay. I like Blazers is fine, but I think honestly the Milwaukee uniforms, once Giannis became the thing and they changed their uniforms, I want to say in either 2016, 2017. Those are the uniform. I think that's the best Jrue Holiday uniform.
Okay, what do you think, Maurice?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Bucks. And then right after that would probably be the Celtics.
Yeah, those would be the top 2 probably. His time with the Milwaukee Bucks were also fire. We're going to go with the season, the 2022-23 season, not too long ago, folks. He's had a lot of good seasons, but we're going to go there. It's not his highest scoring season, to be clear. However, he did put up some buckets. So let's look at it. He averaged 19.3 points per game, 5.1 rebounds per game, 7.4 assists per game, 1.2 steals, 0.4 blocks, 2.9 turnovers, 1.7 fouls. 1.7 fouls, averaging 32.6 minutes per game while shooting 47.9% from the field, 38.4% from the three-point line, and 85.9% from the foul line.
Wow.
Thoughts on that? Oh yeah, no, and not to steal your other segment, Uriah, with the accolades, he definitely got recognized for that.
Yeah. I'm glad you emphasized the turnovers because he had the ball in his hands quite a bit. And again,
no, not turnovers. Sorry, the turnovers were 2.9. The fouls is what I emphasized. The fouls was 1.7.
Let me back that up. 1.7 fouls. We don't really talk about that. We always lean towards points, rebounds, assists. But for him to be such a lockdown defender, and to impact the team's defense the way he does and not commit more than 2 fouls per game tells you how good he still is as a defender. Yeah. And I just want to mention that he got good at defense because he had an uncle that played for the University of Hawaii. And his uncle taught his dad was younger, how to play defense. So if you're wondering, why did Jrue Holiday get so good at defense? Because his uncle taught him the fundamentals of moving your feet on defense while not having your feet bump into each other. So that's just like a little detail that a lot of people don't know about playing basketball is you got to slide your feet, but you got to do it in a way that you stay in front of the defender and not trip over yourself because it's easy to do.
Okay, well, let me give you guys an over-under here. I don't usually do it at this point, but before Maurice goes, let me ask you guys this because we're emphasizing the fouls. Over-under, career high of fouls per game, 3.
I want to say under.
That is correct. It is 2.8.
Wow, for his whole career.
2.8. Okay.
And he was averaging 32 minutes per game.
Does he have a career high in fouls to 6?
So, well, I mean, I don't usually anymore just because, Uriah loves it so much. But yes, he does.
Okay, so he has fouled out.
He has, the last time he has fouled out in a game was 2018-19.
Well, that's a long time ago.
That is a long time ago.
He's had foul,
That shows how good defensively he is.
Yeah. So
I think he hit his prime defensively like halfway through his Pelicans tenure.
I would agree.
That being said, look, let me put it this way. The most minutes per game he ever played was 37.5. That's his last season in Philly, right? He only averaged 2.2 fouls.
You know the bad.
I don't think you.
Yeah. But Maurice, what's the thing that sticks out to you the most out of all these stats for his career?
Well, sticks out to me is even at this point in his career, he's still really good, really versatile. You would think at 35 he would be on the downside of minutes and just overall production, but he's still giving you a lot, especially right now on the Portland Trail Blazers, where they're looking for him to be that vet that helps the younger guys. He's still putting up good numbers.
Yeah. Just to piggyback off that, he did miss some time with an injury. He's only played 49 games this season with only a handful left. But he's averaging 29.1 minutes, which is only the second lowest of his career. Third lowest of his career. But he's still averaging 16.3 points per game, 6 assists, 4.5 rebounds, 1.1 steals. I mean, look, he's supplanted, third overall pick Scoot Henderson as a starter there. Like, it's not even really questionable.
Yeah, that's not a good thing, actually.
Yeah. Well, we're not here to talk about Scoot. So, look, Drew's doing a lot. And look, you could say that he was really only having down years in Boston because he didn't need to score as much. So, gentlemen, let me ask you this. Has Jrue Holiday ever had a triple-double?
Yes.
Lot. You say a lot. Let's go on over-under. Over-under. 7 triple-doubles for his career.
I'll go over.
You go over?
I'll go under.
Maurice, this is for you.
What?
Only 4 career triple-doubles.
That's surprising.
That is surprising.
His last year happened in his last year with the Pelicans. So, going now to career highs. So, over-under 50 as a career high for Jrue Holiday.
Everybody in this generation scored 50. So I'm going to say yes, over.
I'm going to say over.
Okay, yes, you guys are correct. It was 51. But can you tell me which team he did it with?
Oh, come on.
Pelicans.
He's only played, you say Pelicans?
Yeah.
What team he did while he was on?
Yeah, which team did he have the 50-point game with?
Oh. I'm gonna say Bucks.
Okay. Uriah, this is for you.
What?
It is the Bucks. His last season with the Bucks, he had a 51-point game.
Oh, okay. All right.
So, anyway, career highs. Let's look here. He had 13 rebounds as a career high. Has he had a 20-assist game before?
I'm going to say no.
You're going to say no? Maurice?
I'm going to say no as well. It's like 19.
Close. It's 17.
Okay.
That's still good, though.
Yeah. Over under. 8 steals as a career high.
I'm going to say tie.
You say tie?
I'm going to go over.
Okay. You're both.
Okay.
He's had a 7-steal game, and it was with his rookie years with the Sixers.
Okay.
A rookie. All right.
Yep. He's also had 6 blocks as a career high, 9 turnovers, and of course, Uriah's favorite, 6 fouls. That being said, what are you guys' thoughts on the career highs here?
Like I mentioned earlier, very versatile. His numbers are not going to blow you away, although 51 points is very impressive for a one game career high. He's not going to blow you away with his numbers, but consistently, I'll put it to you this way. If you ask the NBA GM, you're going to get 17 years of pretty much the same production from a defensive guard. They will take that any day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was consistent, Maurice. I am shocked about the triple doubles because he is a great size for a point guard, and he has the strength, the athleticism to accumulate, I think, more rebounds and obviously assists. He's got great instincts and passing skills. So I'm not disappointed or anything. I'm just surprised that he didn't have at least, because he's played since 2009. I would think he'd have at least 15 to 16 triple doubles, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess not, but that's okay. That being said, that's pretty much all that I got. We can go ahead and transition to our other defensive guard.
Out to the top. Payton left open.
Fatigued a little bit at his end of the floor. They're going against the shot clock now. One-on-one Payton.
Stockton forces him to the baseline, comes up shooting.
Not shooting free throws worth a darn either. Karl Malone out to prevent picking up his third foul. He's just got 2 right now.
Payton down the lane. Got it.
Now.
Payton spins on Stockton.
The Sonics are best offensively when they go without thinking. If they stop and think, they don't do that.
Payton more in the paint. Forget the fadeaway stuff, according to Ahmad and Jerry Sloan.
Russell now tight on Gary Payton, who gets by and goes through the lane. 2-point win in overtime. The Sonics swore to come out more aggressive in Game 6, but did not in Salt Lake City. They're trying to do that again here.
All right, so those are the highlights. Here are the numbers. So, Gary Payton is 6'4" and 180 pounds. Jrue Holiday outweighs him by 40 pounds, guys.
Really?
Wow.
That is what the Basketball Reference is saying here. He is currently 57 years old. He got drafted first round, second pick overall by the Seattle Supersonics and the 1990 NBA draft, as Uriah has already picked out. Shout out for potentially the Supersonics coming back. He played 17 years, so Jrue is at the same length of his career than Payton is at this point. Interesting fact.
Yep.
He was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2013. Payton has wore a lot of interesting numbers. Actually, he's worn only 2 numbers. We know him for the iconic 20, but what other number did he wear?
Ooh. You know this way, Ryan? I don't know. My guess would be 2.
Yeah, I was thinking 2 or 4. I'll go with 2.
Okay, 2 is correct.
It is. Okay.
Yes, it is correct.
Nice. Good job, Maurice.
Now, can you tell me which team he wore number 2 for?
Oh, it has to be the Heat.
You think the Heat? Okay.
Yeah.
Did the Heat have a number 20 player on the team?
I can't. I'm not going to tell you.
I don't know. But I got the number right, so I was halfway there.
Take a guess. Take a guess.
All right. Let's go with Milwaukee. I don't know.
Okay. You're both.
And
both wrong. Oh man. Okay.
To be fair, this one is actually kind of hard, so I didn't expect you guys to get this right. He wore number 2 his rookie year.
Oh, he had his number
Really?
changed.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah. Fun facts. So
I just realized
by the way,
they both play in Milwaukee, by the way.
So
yeah.
Yes, they did. But let me ask you guys this to follow up on Uriah's question from earlier. Between the Seattle Supersonics, the Milwaukee Bucks, the Lakers, the Celtics, and the Heat, which one of Gary Payton's jerseys were the best? Now, I should note that the Sonics had 3 different jersey designs during his time.
Yeah.
So are we going with
the original
Sonics?
But which Sonics jersey?
The original
I think the one with the original. It's like a more of a lime green and like a bright yellow. I don't like the ones they wore in the '96 finals. They're kind of a dark hunter green.
Yeah, they had a red in them too.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of those, but the original from the '80s was fire.
Okay,
and not gonna lie, the Lakers jersey was kind of hot to see him in that yellow and the gold and purple with the number 20. But
I should note the Milwaukee's jersey in 2003 was the purple ones as well.
I wasn't a fan of those either.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Some of those mid or late 90s, early 2000s jerseys were fire, and then some of them were just major misses.
Yeah, and don't forget, guys, you can buy those jerseys of both players, Jrue Holiday, Gary Payton. If you go to basketballnowandthen.com and go to the article where you'll find, and Lucas is the one that creates those articles for you guys, you can go to the bottom of that page, click on our affiliate link, and you can buy those jerseys right from the NBA store and give us a hand. So check that out.
Yeah,
absolutely. Getting back to Gary Payton and his actual stats, now that we're done with that, we're going to go with the 95-96 season. Of course, Uriah pointed that out as the season that he made the NBA Finals. Let's talk about it. So that season, he averaged 19.3 points. He averaged 4.2 rebounds, 7.5 assists. Led the league in steals with 2.9.
Nice.
0.2 blocks, 3.2 turnovers, and 2.7 fouls. Also shooting, played 39 minutes per game that year. Crazy how many minutes these guys played in the 80s and 90s, right? And still played 81 games, by the way. I don't know what's happened with conditioning in the players, but that's another conversation for another day. He shot 48.4% from the field. He shot 32.8% from downtown and shot 74.8% from the foul line.
Sounds right.
Thoughts on these stats?
All right, I'll go first. This was my era. That season was special. Out of all the numbers, the 19 points a game, sharing the court with a fellow all-star. I'm not going to steal your thunder, Maurice, but you guys know about Rain Man.
Mm-hmm.
I do think almost averaging 3 steals per game at the NBA level is astonishing. I think the only player I can recall that averaged over 3 steals per game in an NBA uniform, I think it was Alvin. It's escaping me.
Alvin, are you sure it's Alvin?
Alvin Robertson. It was Alvin Robertson. Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. Yeah,
he played for the Milwaukee Bucks. I recall him being not just a lockdown defender, but he was like a tiger or a lurking big cat that would just jump out in the. You guys like my
yeah, the
tiger.
It's like a
tiger. He's like, go out and grab the ball and scratch it away from his defender. So yeah, Alvin Robertson was probably one of the best defensive guards in NBA history. Gary Payton is not far behind.
Yeah, and like Uriah was talking about those throwback players, another guard, Sidney Moncrief, was also known, had a reputation of being a great defensive guard. Look, his reputation at this point in 96 preceded him when it came to Gary Payton's defense. So much so that they highlighted it in The Last Dance. When Michael Jordan was watching the clip, he was like, I had no problem with the glove.
Mike's face was like, that was hilarious. That's my favorite part of Last Dance. That's a good grab there.
Yeah. Yeah, no problem with the glove. But yeah, he obviously defensively, Gary Payton, he did a good good enough job as possible on the superstar players, especially during that playoff run where they had to go through a lot of good teams to get to the finals. And Jordan himself, Pippen. Well,
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Uriah was right. Alvin Robertson.
Okay.
A player from the Pacers, Don Buse from
I
the
don't know who that is.
70s. Magic Johnson.
Magic average 3 steals a game?
3.43 steals per game, 81.
Wow, that is crazy. Okay.
Wow, yeah.
I did not think of Magic as that level of defender, but okay.
Yeah. Michael Ray Richardson.
That makes sense, yeah.
John Stockton, we covered him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan.
Okay.
Dyson Daniels. And another player from the Supersonics in the 70s. Get this name. Slick Watts.
Slick Watts.
Yeah.
I like that name. Slick Watts. Coming up the court, Slick Watts here. He's going to go in for a layup. Oh, he gets it. Oh, he scores. Sorry. Had to do it.
You really went in on that.
Hey, look. Sometimes you got to go all the way in on the caricatures.
Like
in the 1950s. Look, I could be one of those 1950s commentators. Just saying. You got to have a little bit of the accent. You got to have a little bit of the slang, and you have to talk a little bit faster. But, anyway, getting...
All right.
All right. So, anyway, you can delete all that.
Maybe not.
So, I should note, before I got interrupted by Maurice and his AI, that besides steals per game in one season, there was another season that Gary Payton led the league in 2 statistical categories in the same season. And it's not one that you would think of because he's not known as a three-point shooter, but he led the league in both attempts and three-pointers made that season. Now,
what?
I should note that he shot 34% that year. So, yeah, guys, check this out. In the 1999-2000 season, the season high in three-pointers made was only 2.2 versus attempted was 6.3. That's
very
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's like double now.
Jrue Holiday's career triple doubles, I believe we said was 4?
Yeah.
Yes, it was 4. So over, under, or tied for Jrue Holiday's triple doubles.
Way over.
Oh,
I think he's in the teens.
What about you, Maurice?
I'm gonna say tie.
You say tie? Well, you would also be wrong. It's over. Uriah is right. It's 15.
Wow.
Right?
It was over that much.
Yeah. So no, he had 15. Remember, in college, he was putting up quite big numbers. So we said 51 as a career high for Jrue Holiday. Over, under, or tied for points in a single game for Gary Payton?
Definitely under.
You say under?
Yeah, I would say under.
Okay, you guys are correct. It is 44.
Yeah. Yeah, different league, different era of scoring.
So 16 rebounds as a career high. That is wild for a guy that's 6'4". No, that's not just not bad. That is insane for a guy that's 6'4".
Mm-hmm. So they were the same height, but Jrue was a little bigger.
Jrue is about 40 pounds heavier.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
So then we said Jrue Holiday's career high in assists, if I remember correctly, was 17. So is Gary Payton's over, under, or tied?
I'll go under.
Well, you said 16,
under.
Right?
17.
17, under.
Okay, you're both.
No.
Gary's was 18. His last half season with the Sonics, he had 18.
All right, not too far.
So
okay,
18,
we said
17.
Jrue. Yeah, so we said Jrue had a career high of 7 steals. Over, under, or tied with Jrue for steals as a career high in a single game.
Now we're talking about the glove. This could be a tricky question.
Could be.
I'm gonna go over. I'm not overthinking.
I think it's over. I think it's 9.
You think it's 9? Maurice, do you want to give a number to it?
8.
Okay. Maurice, this is for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was 8.
That one.
All right.
Yeah. So Jrue's blocks were 6. Payton's over, under, or tied?
Oh, I thought that was steals.
No,
Yeah,
we're doing blocks now.
Yeah.
We're doing blocks now.
Okay. All right. My bad.
So Jrue's career high in blocks was 6.
Okay.
Is Payton's over, under, or tied?
I'll go under.
I'm going to go over.
Okay. In the words of the Knight Templar from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusader, Maurice, you have chosen poorly. It's only 3.
Chosen poorly. So now, Maurice, you got to take a sip of some water and disintegrate on camera.
Yeah.
And then you disintegrate.
Yeah.
I was going to use that reference for either one of the answers. I just wanted to see which one I could use.
That's funny.
It's a good reference. Anyway, so yeah, it was 3. And then turnovers is 9. Fouls, of course, is 6. Now, just like Jrue Holiday, the last time that Gary Payton had fouled out of a game was within 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7th season. After that, he had never fouled out of a game since.
Wow, only one foul. Okay.
No. I mean, like, he fouled out of at least 4 out of the 5 seasons before then, but 4 out of the 7 season. But no, after the 97-98 season, he never fouled out of a game again.
Oh, okay.
All right, so that concludes my section, guys. I am done. I pass the ball back to Uriah so that he can get an alley-oop.
Right. An alley-oop?
Let's do it.
Third quarter, accolades.
Making his second All-Star Game appearance for the Milwaukee Bucks, Jrue Holiday.
That is Jrue Holiday getting announced before the All-Star Game. Not sure which year, but he is a 2-time All-Star, which is surprising to me, but hey, at least he got there twice. He is a 6-time all-defensive team selection. Again, surprising he does not have more. I think that lends itself to what Lucas said, is how come Jrue does not get as much notoriety as one of the best defenders in the league, which I think the players and coaches would single him out for that. But I think casual fans probably like Jrue Holiday, really? No, he was a monster defensively. It was mentioned earlier, he was a 2-time NBA champion. He won 1 title with the Milwaukee Bucks, and most recently he won a few years ago with the Boston Celtics. Who can name another honor or award that Jrue Holiday has earned? It's a big one.
He's made all defensive team multiple times.
6 times,
Yep.
Huh.
Sportsmanship award?
Sportsmanship? I don't have that in front of me. I wouldn't be surprised, though. He seems like a really good dude. But nope, that's not the one I'm thinking about. It's a really big accomplishment. Maurice knows this.
Was he Finals MVP?
No, I think Giannis was MVP, and I think it was
Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, it was
Brown.
Yeah.
I was off. I don't know. Comeback player of the year?
I'll give you one more hint. He has 2 of these.
Ooh.
Well, you said all-star, so I don't even know.
Don't overthink it, guys. It's on an international level.
Olympics.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, he's a 2-time Olympian. He has 2 gold medals, obviously. So Jrue Holiday, not just impactful on NBA courts, but representing America in the Olympics. Now, I'm looking at some other awards where he was runner-up. There was one season, 17-18 with the Pelicans. He was, I think, Defensive Player of the Year. He was 7th in the voting. And Defensive Player of the Year a couple years in a row when he was with, who's he with here? He was with Milwaukee. A couple years in a row, he was Defensive Player of the Year 8th in voting, Defensive Player of the Year 7th in voting, Defensive Player of the Year 6th in voting. So I think Jrue Holiday got the recognition that he deserved, making the off-defensive teams that he did, but he was voted by his peers and I think coaches for potential Defensive Player of the Year. So that being said, who has something to contribute about those accolades? I'll go to Lucas first. What stands out about Jrue Holiday's awards?
Like I said earlier, I think where you play and how successful your team is truly does matter with some of these awards. Yeah. You could argue that I get that the mid-2000s, the 220 teams was loaded, but if he's as good as a defender as all the defensive players listings that he got, defensive teams listings that he got, then he should have made more than just one All-Star. But, being stuck in New Orleans, it's very hard to get an All-Star bid when in New Orleans when your team is not that, successful. That's not really a shot at him. It's just a shot at the organization, really.
I will say this, and this is a credit to Jrue. He kind of made the Pelicans relevant because before Jrue, there was really nothing there besides Chris Paul, and Chris Paul just left. Right. So he made them relevant for a couple of years before they got Zion, and then so it kind of changed. Now, were they ever like a Western Conference threat? No, but he didn't put them on the map. But I mean, he made them a viable Western Conference threat at least.
Yeah, to be fair, his numbers. He only cracked over 20 points a game once his career. And assist-wise, he only averaged over 8 assists one season. So to be fair, he did not have the numbers, no matter what team he was on, to make an all-star team over even Kemba Walker, right? Yeah. Or any other guard in the East that was, putting up numbers. But yeah, I think defensively, he's one of the best of his generation.
The thing with Jrue is, you got those stats for 15, 16, 17 years, which would mean he was more viable as a potential Hall of Fame candidate more than anything else. More than anything else.
That's a good debate.
Yeah, and another thing I'll add to it, and another thing that stands out from the accolades for me is I don't see the Bucks or the Celtics winning the NBA championship without Jrue.
Talk about it.
I think he was the key piece to both those teams winning the championship.
I just want to point out that Giannis has not made a deep playoff run since Jrue has left that team.
Yeah, that's over with. That's done.
Yeah,
he might not even be there.
If I'm not mistaken, wasn't Jrue Holiday responsible for a big steal in crunch time in the finals?
Yes,
the Suns.
Against the Suns.
I'm sure he was. I can't remember, but I'm sure he was. Yeah.
So he
didn't he do that alley-oop to Giannis?
Yeah.
I will say this. Jrue Holiday is probably the least egoed player of all great players in the NBA. He doesn't have an ego, and that's what makes him so dangerous because he will literally do anything. One of the things we were talking about, I think, while you were gone at one point was his time during Boston. His numbers were down, but we were like, but then we look at his year in Portland, the numbers are back up. Why was it? And we'll talk about it with teammates, but the egolessness of Jrue Holiday is probably one of the things that makes him one of the most dangerous players in the NBA.
And one of the most fun players to watch because he's ambidextrous. He could dunk with either hand. His handles are ridiculous. Many moves in his bag. So, Jrue Holiday, even though he does not have the hardware, the same it's in terms of comparing him to Gary Payton, he's a special player. And that being said, let's move over to the other side of the comparison.
Thank you, Lewis. They are lacing them up in here as they get ready in the Western Conference. Rick Adelman spoke to his team. He's the coach, but the guy who really has had the most to say is the glove, Gary Payton. So go ahead and give it to your teammates. Give them their final instructions.
Yeah, I got to give y'all your final instructions. Hey, see, well, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, what's happening, baby? You need an extra? All right. Carmelo. Just make baskets, baby. Make baskets. Hey, Shaq Deezy. What's going on? Kazam. All right. What's happening, baby? All right. Yes, sir. KG. OBF, man. Original Black Family, baby. All right. All right. Here go my boy, Jake. Boy, I don't know what you was doing trying to be Dennis Rodman little brother, but you something else, man. Remember this Dennis Rodman little brother? Man, I was saying it, man. I don't know what he was thinking about, but it's my boy, man.
Hey, Gary, I don't think that Coach Adelman has anything to worry about, but Jamie Foxx might. Thanks for your motivational speech there.
Oh, yeah, I got to keep them right. I got to keep them on their toes.
Ahmad, pretty loose down here. Up there.
So now I'm going to go into some awards that Gary Payton won as an NBA player. Let's do an over-under. How many all-defensive teams did Gary Payton make? Over, under 10.
Whew. Yeah, I'm gonna go over.
I'm gonna go over as well.
All right, you guys are both. It was 9. That's still a heck of a number to say sure you made 9 all-defensive teams. That is, not many players that can say they made 9 all-defensive teams. All NBA teams, he made 9. He made the all-rookie team. He was not Rookie of the Year. Does anybody know who was Rookie of the Year in 1990?
I think I mentioned it in a clip. It was Derek Coleman.
Yes.
No, we've done his episode, him and Julius Randle. Check it out, guys.
Yeah, check that out. DC and Julius Randle. Hall of Fame. He is a Hall of Fame inductee. He is a 9-time All-Star. He's a 1-time NBA champion with the Miami Heat. Was Gary Payton Defensive Player of the Year? Lucas, what do you think?
Was he Defensive Player of the Year? I'm going to say yes, he was.
All right, Maurice?
I'm going to say yes as well.
You guys are correct. One of the few guards in NBA history to achieve that accomplishment. I mean, I think the last guard that won it was Marcus Smart, right?
Yeah, Marcus Smart.
Yeah. And that tells you how rare it is for a guard to win Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely. It's not an easy thing for sure. And kudos to him.
Yeah. And just like Jrue Holiday, guys, he has not 1, but 2 Olympic gold medals.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Maurice, what stands out to you about the awards that Gary Payton earned?
I mean, the reputation of a defensive guard keeps preceding him. Marcus Smart, well, I'm going to assume Jordan had a couple. Just off the top of my head, he had a couple. He was a guard. But overall, just the defensiveness of Gary Payton over his whole career, I think that in itself led him to become a Hall of Famer. The other numbers, the scoring, the rebounding, the assists, they help. But defensively, and that's a good thing because in the NBA today, when it comes to Hall of Fame, and I know it's Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame, it's not NBA Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I remember Maurice watching Gary Payton, and when he would get down in his defensive stance, he would get low to the ground, have his hands up. You just saw it in his eyes that he had one mission, and that was to stop his opponent from getting to the basket, and he did it so many times. It's unsurprising that he made so many all-defensive teams.
There really is like an art and a lot of technique that goes into playing or being a really good defensive player. You mentioned earlier, sliding your feet, getting down low on the ground, like just anticipating the passing lanes. All of that stuff really matters, man.
Well, I was going to ask you guys this because I didn't really get to see Gary Payton play during his prime. When I talked about Jrue being defensively versatile, was Gary able to guard other positions besides maybe 1s and 2s, or could he guard 3s and 4s as well?
Small 3s.
Small 3s? Okay, yeah. So he was a little bit more limited. That makes sense. He was a little bit smaller built than Jrue is too, so that makes more sense too.
Yeah, he was not doing anything against Barkley and Karl Malone. I mean, he could try, but he didn't have that type of muscle mass to impede their progress.
We just did a comp of John Stockton. Both of them have said on the record that the other one was a pain in the you-know-what, the guard.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Game recognizes game. And now I'm going to hand it over to Maurice. We'll do a little give and go. You ready, sir?
I'm ready. We playing a little triangle offense right now. I like it.
Triangle offense. Yeah. Okay.
The triangle. Yeah, there you go.
So does that mean I'm Jordan? And
you want to be Jordan?
And Lucas is Will Purdue.
I feel like I'm no.
He's Rodman.
Please give me. I mean, look, I could be crazier. You guys want me to be crazier? I don't know.
You are the man of many hairstyles.
Yes, you are.
That
now
is
you have
true.
to dye your hair green. I would love to see.
I don't think my job would appreciate that.
I don't think so either. All right, let's move on.
Fourth quarter, teammates.
The second you got the text that Jrue Holiday is coming to Boston, were you in the back of your mind? You know a lot of things have to happen. You know how tough it is to get through it. In the back of your mind, are you like, we're winning this?
At first, I was like, I can't believe Milwaukee let this happen. So thanks to the Bucks. But yeah, kind of. I knew we had a really good chance. To win a championship, a lot of things have to go right. You have to stay healthy, have to be on the same page. People have to get along. It's a little bit of luck that's involved. But knowing that Jrue had championship DNA and I won a gold medal with him, I knew, what kind of player and person that he was. I knew it was going to make our team better. And we already got KP and we already had a really good team. So, when we got Jrue, I was pretty confident about what we could accomplish.
All right. That was Jason Tatum talking about his teammate, Jrue Holiday. Jrue Holiday was drafted with the 17th pick in the 2009 NBA draft by the Philadelphia 76ers. In the 2009-2010 season, the Sixers were bad, won 27 games, lost 55. You guys remember the coach? Remember the coach?
Doug Collins.
Lucas?
No, it was Eddie George.
It was Eddie George.
Eddie George or Eddie Jordan?
Eddie Jordan.
Jordan. Yeah, Jordan.
Both of you guys thinking football.
Thinking football, yeah.
Yeah.
Eddie Jordan. The executive was Ed Stefanski. Some of his teammates were Elton Brand, Samuel Dellenberg, Rodney Carney, Willie Green, Andre Iguodala, Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
That was Allen Iverson's last year. Here's a blast in the past named Royal Ivy.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Royal Ivy was on.
Sixers,
are you sure?
Yeah. Positive.
Yes, he was. Jody Meeks.
Yep.
Jody Meeks.
3-point specialist.
Yep. Lou Williams. You mentioned Lou earlier. Thaddeus Young. Maurice Bates.
Okay.
And Jason Capono.
Jason Capono, yep.
I don't think he ever played for the Sixers, though.
No, Jason did.
Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't. He didn't actually play in a game.
No, he did.
He did.
I remember him playing a game.
He played he played like a grand total of like 81 games in 2 seasons, dude.
Okay, I'm mistaken then.
All right, let's move on to the 2017-2018 New Orleans Pelicans. Their record was 48-34. Their coach was, I think this is easy.
Was it Willie Green?
No,
or no, Alvin Gentry.
Alvin Gentry, yeah.
Is Alvin Gentry,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The executive was Dell Demps. They didn't make the playoffs. They got to the second round. They lost to the Warriors 4-1. This was 2017 Warriors. They were probably the best team in the league.
Yeah, KD was on that team.
Yeah. Some of his teammates in New Orleans were Tony Allen, Omar Sheik, DeMarcus Cousins,
Boogie,
Jordan Crawford, Anthony Davis, Nikola Mirotic, Jameer Nelson.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Emeka Okafor.
Yep.
And Josh Smith. I forgot about Josh Smith. And Rajon Rondo.
That's a good
Can
team.
we just talk about that team? Because that team was the what if team, right? I need to vent about this because, so they traded for Boogie at the NBA All-Star game. You had a backcourt of Jrue and Rondo, 2 unselfish guys. Rondo was still a master of passing. You had a front court of DeMarcus Cousins and Anthony Davis. DeMarcus was still in his prime before this. And then you had fifth starter, token guy, Dante Cunningham that could guard everybody, can make enough threes to make him respectable. Let me tell you something. That team was a problem defensively and offensively. You had 3 defensive guys on that team with Jrue, Rondo, and Anthony Davis, and then you had Boogie and AD in his prime. Jrue was still pretty good at that point. Oh my gosh, if Boogie, that's a big what if. What if Boogie didn't tear his Achilles, right? What if Boogie did not, because that ruined Boogie's career basically after that. But it also set into motion like, oh, okay, that was our last big swing to build around AD and Jrue. It didn't work. They move on from them.
I will go with the normal question I asked for the teammate section, and I mentioned his name. Who won the most games with Jrue Holiday as a teammate? I mentioned his name. The number is 158.
New Orleans barely ever won. I'm actually going to say Milwaukee, and I'm going to say Brook Lopez.
That's a good one. I'm not going to overthink it. I'm going to say no, because AD was always hurt. Maybe it is Milwaukee.
If you're going to go with the New Orleans guy, Eric Gordon or Tyrese
I'll go with Giannis.
I mean, if you guys heard me, I said I mentioned his name. I didn't mention the Bucks yet.
Oh, damn. I
didn't hear that.
We're not good listeners. Sorry, Maurice.
No. All right.
So both of you are wrong.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right, you want another chance? You get another chance.
No, it's all right.
Okay.
Tell us
it's okay.
who it is.
It's Anthony Davis.
Damn.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say Anthony Davis.
He was always injured, though.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they did play 6 seasons together. They played 322 games together. They won 158. Now, their winning percentage was actually really bad. It was 49%.
Gosh.
That was
because the Pelicans, that's why he never got any All-Star nods, because the Pelicans were bad during that time.
Okay. That's fair.
The Pelicans are still kind of bad. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to dump on the Pelicans. I'll stop.
Yeah, keep it to this. Number 2 with 135 was Thaddeus Young.
Okay.
Number
that
3
young,
was,
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Number two was Thaddeus Young, 135. And number 3 was Etuan Moore. With 130.
Thought that.
All right, so let's move on. And then we're going to move on to the championship years, the championship teammates. I'm going to start with the 2021 Milwaukee Bucks. They won the NBA championship that season. Their coach was Mike Budenholzer. They won 46 games, lost 26 games. Of course, they beat the Phoenix Suns in the finals 4-2. Some of his teammates were, of course, Giannis Antetokounmpo, DJ Augustine, Pat Connaughton.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Torrey Craig, Dante DiVincenzo, Brook Lopez. I think Lucas mentioned Brook Lopez. Chris Middleton, Bobby Portis, Jeff Teague, and PJ Tucker.
Okay.
Forgot PJ Tucker was on that team.
No?
Yeah, and like I mentioned earlier, I don't know if they won an NBA championship without Jrue. I think he was the missing piece.
Yeah, up until he got there, they would flounder, and then look at Boston. They didn't. They were a championship caliber team for like 6-7 years, and they didn't get over the hump until Jrue got there. And Porzingis.
Yeah. Well, and let me do my best, Ben here, guys. That championship with the Bucks really got PJ the payday that he needed to come to the Sixers.
Okay.
PJ Tucker, shout out.
He got paid.
Yeah.
And
so, but no, it's crazy because I don't think the Bucks would have done the deal with Portland for Dame if they knew that they were going to reroute him to Boston.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's move on to Boston. Speaking of Boston, 2023-2024 Boston Celtics. Their coach was Joe Mazzulla. Executive was Brad Stevens. You guys remember how many games they won?
That year? It was like in the 60s.
64.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's exactly right, right?
What?
Yeah. 64-18. Duh.
Yeah, I just got excited. That was a
just
pure guess. Pure guess.
They beat the Mavericks in the finals 4-1. Luka got there. That was the closest Luka's gotten to a finals. Some of his teammates were. Jaylen Brown, Sam Hauser, Al Horford, Luke Cornett, Kristaps Porzingis, Payton Pritchard, Jason Tatum, and Derek White. Really good roster construction here. Not only is it good talent, but they all fit together really well.
Mm-hmm.
Who would have known that at that point, Derek White will break out and become a star? Payton Pritchard, as a bench guy, would be a really good NBA player. And Porzingis had one of his best and healthiest years that year as well. Really good team. Not many franchises know how to build a championship team like the Boston Celtics. They just come out of nowhere.
They do.
While other teams are just floundering, trying to get healthy. So, throughout the career of Jrue Holiday, which player, this is actually a really good question, which player actually stands out the most as a teammate? I'm going to go Lucas first. So you can stop clicking.
So, up until... not even using the mouse. I was trying to do the other thing so that you guys wouldn't eat. Okay, so anyway, so to answer the question, so up until this year or just in general?
His whole career.
Okay, so I guess
his whole career.
Whole career. Well, I think it's Giannis, right? Like that's the easy answer because Giannis is like what he got 2 MVPs, 2 NBA MVPs, a Finals MVP, championship. First championship was the second best. You could argue him or Middleton was the second best player, but you could argue that Jrue, was probably more important than Middleton was. I don't know. It's a close call, but like either way, it's Giannis.
Yeah, I'm not going to overthink it. I'll say Giannis too. As much as I like AD, and I thought they were a good 1-2 punch, he was never healthy enough, and they didn't win enough. So yeah, you have to go Giannis. Giannis is an all-world player. His story is phenomenal. We also compared him to another player connected to Gary Payton. We compared Giannis to Sean Kemp. But yeah, it's got to be Giannis.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Let's move forward to GP.
Out here, boy. If your head lumpy, I tell you your head lumpy. I can get it heated up when you want me to.
Talk to me about the best trash talkers you ever encountered.
I say, now you go. Oh, stupid. Yeah, there we go.
A lot of people look at your talking, Gary, they think like that was just it. He was just talking, but they didn't realize he was taking them mentally out of their game.
Right.
I was always in the back of his ear telling him, Michael Jordan, about to get you. You better get ready. Michael Jordan over there, he's about to, so I think the one thing that we did for each other, we always challenged each other early on. We took what we did. It wasn't, and some people look at it like we was talking crap, but I think it was more of us being positive and encourage each other because it was a test of what you could do with yourself because we knew we could do better.
That was a good thing about it. We always challenged each other. You used to get on me a lot. You'd be like, man, you better come on, man. Jordan gonna bust your head open.
Hey, quick story. In my research, Maurice, Gary Payton in the Players Tribune article was describing the first time he played against Michael Jordan as a rookie. He was talking smack to MJ, and MJ went ahead and lit him up. And I think Gary Payton went scoreless that game. And then Jordan went over to the bench and basically, was talking smack, like, keep your mouth shut or whatever. So yeah, Jordan and Payton had some really interesting battles. And you mentioning the Last Dance segment when Jordan was looking at the screen, that's like a meme now, right? When Jordan's looking at the at the iPad.
Yeah. That was a different era in basketball. I don't even think the guys really talk trash today. And if you do talk trash, you're like Dylan Brooks. And you're like hated.
Yeah.
You talk trash.
Trolling.
Yeah. All right. That was, by the way, Sean Kipp in the clip talking about his teammate, Gary Payton, picked with the number 2 pick in the 1990 NBA draft by the Seattle Supersonics. I hope they get their franchise back in the next couple of years in the NBA expansion. That'll be pretty cool. Good for fans, too. Happy for them.
Yeah.
All right. Some of his teammates, his rookie season in 1990, 1991 were, and by the way, they were 41-41. Their coach was K.C. Jones. And did they make the playoffs that season? They did make the playoffs. They lost 3-2 to the Portland Trail Blazers in the 91 first round Western Conference. That's when they had a best of 5 back then.
Okay.
Some of his teammates were Dana Barrows, Benoit Benjamin.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of centers on his team. Michael Cage, Dave Corzine, Olden Polynice. They had like 4 centers.
You know why they had a lot of centers? I do.
Why?
So one is because of Shaq.
Well, this is 91.
Yeah, Shaq wasn't even in the wasn't in the league yet.
What about
They were
David
prepping for
Nope,
Shaq.
Not prepping for Shaq, maybe.
They're getting ready.
I mean,
that's a good theory, but no, it was a little early for Shaq.
I think in this era they were still trying to replicate like a Twin Towers type thing. None of these guys. Olden Polynice was a good center. Anyway, some other teammates: Dale Ellis, a really good career, good shooter.
Good shooter.
Eddie Johnson.
Yep.
Of course, Sean Kemp, Xavier McDaniel, good big. Derek McKee, Nick McMillan, Sedell Threet, and Ricky Pierce.
Wow, I remember that team. That was a fun team.
That was a fun team to watch. They really were.
Some interesting personalities, great dynamic.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, I think from this point on, they were 41 or 41. I think the rest of the 90s, they were like a winning team.
Oh, yeah, they were like 60-win teams, 55 and up. Yeah, they were a force in the West.
Yeah, they were really good for a long time. They just couldn't get out of the Western Conference until 96. And, you all remember the upset series they had against the Nuggets.
The Nuggets, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually don't, but okay.
You remember the thick clip of Mutombo holding the ball, laying on the court? Gotta remember that.
No.
We'll send you
not.
that. We'll send you that. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know the Nuggets were good in the 90s. I'll be honest. Who did they have besides Dikembe? Like, I don't know.
Robert Pack, Fonso Ellis, Antonio McNice.
Oh, so a collection of pieces greater than the
They had Abdul Rauf too, didn't they?
Yeah. Chris Jackson before he was Abdul Rauf, I think. Yeah. Or I guess he was there when it. Yeah, I think he was there when he changed his name.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm going to move on to by the way, the 93-94 team has 63 wins. But I'm going to move on to the 95-96 Western Conference Championship, Seattle Supersonics. And even on Basketball Reference, I don't like the logo. The TO1.
Yeah.
It threw me off.
Not the same.
It's not the same, no. They were 64-18, coached by George Karl. Of course, they lost to the Bulls in the finals 4-2. Some of his teammates were Hershey Hawkins.
Hershey or Hersey?
I always said Hershey.
No,
is it Hershey? Is it Hershey?
Oh, Hershey. Okay. No H.
Hershey.
Try it again.
Okay. Hershey Hawkins?
Yep.
Okay. I've always said Hershey, like the candy bar.
Nah, it's Hersey. Yeah.
Hersey Hawkins, Irvin Johnson, not Magic Johnson.
Not Magic, yeah.
Of course, once again, Sean Kemp, Sam Perkins, Detlef Schrempf, David Wingate, and Eric Snow.
Snow.
Yeah.
Okay. A young Eric Snow.
Yeah, he was a rookie that season.
Yeah.
He was a rookie that season. Frank Brickowski. That was always a weird name. I remember that. Like, they don't call him Brick?
Hey, yo, Brick, pass me the ball.
Vincent Askew. Yeah, so that was a team that won 64. Now, on paper, talent-wise, doesn't look like a 64-win team, but somehow, some way, they got to the finals. Somehow, some way. Now, I will ask the question, who won the most games, but I think this is fairly obvious. Sean Kemp won the most games with Gary Payton, but over-under. I'm going to give you an over-under on wins. I'm going to say 400 on the dot. Over-under.
400 divided by 50.
I'll even give you a hint. They played 7 seasons together. Because you got to remember, at some point, like in '96, the year after Sean Kemp got traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Why, I don't know, but
I couldn't tell you.
Give me another over under.
I'll say. I think it could be over, but I think it's under.
Under 400. Okay, Lucas.
I'm gonna say. I'll say over.
No. I'm gonna say over because 400 games. They played almost 8 seasons together, and they had a lot of 50-win seasons. I'm gonna say over.
No, the brain was working, Uriah.
Okay. Cool. How many?
401.
Oh,
401.
okay.
They won 401 together. Now, their winning percentage is a lot higher than Jrue's and Anthony Davis. Gary Payton and Sean Kemp won 65% of their games.
That's
65,
insane.
Yeah, 65% is a lot. That's
like
a lot.
Jordan. That's like Jordan and Pippen winning percentage right there.
It's close to it. Yeah. Number 2 was Nate McMillan with 359, and with 355, it was Sam Perkins. These are all Supersonics.
Yeah.
All Supersonics.
Because that team, 96, I remember distinctly, like, it was one of those finals matchups that you remember what was going on in current events. You remember where you were, where you watched the games. I just know that whole season, whenever Seattle would come on for the Sunday afternoon game on NBC, it was exciting because, I mean, Seattle was like a hot ticket with Payton and obviously Sean Kemp. But that final series, Lucas, I don't know if you've watched any of those games on YouTube, but even though they went down, I think 3-1, it was fun to watch Jordan go back and forth with Gary Payton. It was a great matchup because you had Sean Kemp going against Dennis Rodman and kind of the antics with that. That was a fun series to watch.
Okay.
Yeah. And you got to take it into account, too. This was the season where they won 72 games.
Yes.
The Supersonics were a heavy underdog. So the fact that they got to a game 6 tells you all you need to know.
Yeah. And they weren't afraid either. I think that was apparent. But they just didn't have enough experience to go against the Bulls.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so real quick, I'm going to highlight a couple more teams that he was on. I'm going to highlight real quick the 02-03 Bucks. Crazy because I guess he was traded to the Bucks because of his coach. George Karl was the coach of the Bucks. So I guess he moved on to Milwaukee at that point. Their record was 42-40. His teammates were Ray Allen, Sam Cassell, Irvin Johnson again, Tony Kukoc, Desmond Mason, Anthony Mason, Kevin Ollie, Michael Redd, Tim Thomas. Not a bad team. Not a bad team at all. Now, he would go on to the Lakers the next season, 03-04. At this point, people called it ring chasing. But
clearly.
Yeah. So him and Karl Malone went to the Lakers. Lakers won 56 games that season. Their coach was Phil Jackson, Kobe, Derek Fisher, Rick Fox, Karl Malone, Horace Grant, Shaq, Byron Russell, Luka Walton. But ultimately, they lost in the finals to the Detroit Pistons 4-1. Yeah, so that failed for him. But 05-06, he would finally get his ring with the Miami Heat. They won 52-30 that season. Their coach was Stan Van Gundy and Pat Riley.
Yeah.
And his teammates that season were Shannon Anderson, Udonis Haslem, of course, Jason Capono. So there you go, Lucas. Jason Capono.
Yep.
James Posey, Alonzo Mourning, Shaquille O'Neal, Dwayne Wade, Antoine Walker, Darrell Wright, and Jason Williams.
It's a good team.
So he finally got his ring at the end, and he went out happy. So which teammate throughout the career of Gary Payton? I'm just going to ask, who was the best teammate? Because I think that's a better question. I don't think it's as obvious as people think it is. Who was the best? The best teammate.
The best player, and best player of all time at any point, or just when he played.
Who was
with
the best teammate Gary Payton's ever played for? That's it.
Best
the player of all time, though, because he played with Shaq.
Shaq's a better player, but Shaq wasn't in his prime.
I think you gotta stick with who stands out. I just really think you do, because
Dwayne Wade.
It would be Dwayne Wade. There's no question.
Dwayne Wade was at his
Dwayne
peak.
Wade.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Though he did love Shaq.
If I made the question differently, you would have said Sean Kemp. I think notably the most notable teammate he's played with was Sean Kemp. But the best player,
I think.
I mean, Shaq wasn't. I mean, when he played for Shaq was not in his prime, but he did play for prime Kobe and prime D Wade.
Was Kobe at his prime at that point? I say no, not yet. He was getting there, but he
was. No, Kobe was in his prime.
04?
So?
Yeah,
because he already won 3 championships. Up to that
just because you win
Kobe.
3 look, I think, I don't know. I always respect 07. Okay, fine.
He peaked in 2001. He was averaging like almost 30 points a game. He was the man. Yeah.
But Kobe was never the man in the NBA Finals, where D Wade was.
That's true.
D Wade was that dude.
So D Wade's your answer?
I think if D Wade, no. If Shaq was in his prime, D Wade would maybe not have won that award. So we got to keep that in consideration.
Well, and the thing is, Shaq was willing to defer to D Wade at that point, where Kobe wasn't.
Okay,
that's a good point.
Yeah.
This is a fun episode. Let's get up on out of here.
Now that we've given you all the facts on Jrue Holiday and Gary Payton, it's time for you to make your case.
At this point, it's not about our opinion. It's about yours.
We'll see you on your favorite social media platform. You can find us on X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, and Threads.
For the sources of information used in this episode, you can visit our website, basketballnowandthen.com. Also visit our website to sign up for our monthly newsletter and check out our comparison articles.
Don't forget that you can follow the NBA stars we featured on today's episode through their social media.
You can follow Jrue Holiday on Twitter or X at Jrue_Holiday11 and on Instagram at Jrue_Holiday11.
And you can follow Gary Payton on Twitter X at Gary Payton and on Instagram at Gary.Payton.20. That is a wrap for the show. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us with this comparison of Gary Payton and Jrue Holiday. On behalf of Maurice and Lucas and Ben, who could not be with us, we'll see you guys next time. Take care.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Peace.
And his mom, Maurice, was also instrumental in putting this attitude of playing defense into Gary when he was growing up. So it was, no, I think I have that mixed up. I'm thinking of Jrue Holiday. My bad. Completely mixed up there.